Hello and welcome back to the Long Island Weather Update and Outlook. And finally, we got to see a little bit of sun today as the clouds parted just a few hours before sunset. So we got to see a little bit of that sun and some blue sky after so many days of not seeing much at all. The clouds did finally break, and it was nice to see some blue sky out there. That's for sure. Very, very nice to see that, as you see right there. So. And then, yeah, look at that. We were actually completely clear right before sunset. So very nice. After yesterday being kind of a sprinkly day across our area. We had the sun, a little bit of sun in the morning, and then we had all the clouds and some sprinkles. That's all we managed to get is sprinkles. I never really, maybe very light rain. The steady rain kind of stayed off to the south and the west yesterday. So let's look at what we got going on outside right now in our area. And it is such a nice, cool night out there, but unfortunately, not where I live. So, yeah, we are in the mid-50s out there. Even in Mineola, 56 degrees, mid-50s. But take a guess what it is in my alley right now. You don't have to guess. 66, 10 degrees warmer.
I hate this place!
I'm telling you, this place is... It's really a closed-in courtyard. It's really a mini courtyard. Alley is, but I call alley because it's more of a. How is a place like this even allowed to exist? I can't get fresh air. I gotta keep the air conditioner going. It's unbelievable. It's not fit for residential habitation. Anyway, so yeah, horrible. So anyway, let's go to the. Highs for the day, and you can see here temperatures. Looks like we got into the mid-70s here in central Nassau. Around 70 in much of upper 60s to around 70 in much of Suffolk. East End was in the mid-60s. City was in the mid-70s as well as New Jersey as well in the mid-70s. Let's look at the lows. And lows tonight, they were generally in the 50s. I think they're going to be a lot lower tonight, and maybe I'll be able to turn the air conditioner off, but don't count on it. Don't count on it, can I tell you? So anyway, let's go and look at our precipitation just to show you. We really didn't get much rain at all yesterday. I'll go to 48 hour might be a little. Let's do 36 hours. You can see just a little bit, a few tenths of an inch yesterday. The heavier amounts were off to the south and the west. Mostly, we just didn't get into it. We just did not get into it. So let's look at our climate statistics for the day. At Islip, a high of 69 and a low of 57. The high was right at normal, 69, but the low of 57 was 5 degrees above normal, putting us 3 degrees above normal for the day. Now we go and we look at yesterday, because I didn't do a weather update yesterday, and we'll just briefly cover yesterday's weather. The high was 65 and the low was 57, and that puts us 1 degree above normal for the day. Central Park today, high of 75 and a low of 59, and that's partially because the sun was out more versus Suffolk County, where they didn't get as much sun. So low was the high. It was 3 degrees above normal at Central Park. So the sun was more out in Nassau than it was in Suffolk, but still, it's cooled off into the 50s, and there's absolutely no reason why it should be this. Man.
Oh, I hate this place!
That's why I keep playing that clip, because I really do. So anyway, let's go to the. We've covered all that. I think the local weather for the past couple of days. We'll go back to the weather and hazards map and just show you. I guess we'll show you what it was like at Islip the past couple of days. So you can see the dew points have dropped too. The dew points have dropped into the low to mid 50s after being. Yesterday was a little more muggier. I think actually we had dew points as low as the 40s overnight. Very interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, no, that was yesterday morning. The dew points weren't that high yesterday. 50s. I don't know. Yesterday just felt muggier, I guess, because the raindrops coming down. But anyway, going across the country, you'll see that there is severe weather again. We're having more severe weather. Big area of a severe thunderstorm watch in the Midwest, and red flag warnings in West Texas. And what is this? What is this? A red wind advisory. It's a kind of an unusual color, like a I guess that's a wind advisor. It's the color for the wind. Combination wind advisor and red flag warning in parts of Arizona. This now includes the Flagstaff area as well, and much of New Mexico. So it looks like we do have a couple of tornado warnings out there. Let's go. We'll put this to the. Yeah, I gotta go back to this here. So just the warnings, and it looks like we do have one tornado warning west of Oklahoma City, and then a number of severe thunderstorm warnings, and a flash flood warning in effect as well for certain areas. Yeah, a number of severe thunderstorm warnings over here too. So we're seeing that severe weather pick up again. You can see the heat also that we have here, heat and humidity, and then the dry line, and the much drier air that's on the back side of it. Not necessarily cooler, but drier, and that's a classic dry line setup that we have. So let's look at our radar, so we can look at these thunderstorms here, and you can see, yeah, these look pretty bad right around Iowa here. And then there's another. These are bowing. These look like more like straight line wind type. The Wichita just got slammed. And then this cell here, this one, look at this thing. Looks like a monster. And it could actually be heading right for Oklahoma City. Let's just loop this. It looks like it is. That's not good at all. So that looks like that's heading right for Oklahoma City. So here we go again with more severe weather going on. And looking at our Storm Prediction Center map, you'll see that enhanced risk that you have there in the Midwest there, right over Oklahoma, that we have for today. Looking at tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow, we'll see if we have tomorrow's. It goes to a slight risk, more or less in the same area. But we all know that it could always change. We know that could always change. Looking at the weather map, you'll see here that we have high pressure over us, and that is going to keep us dry. Yeah, finally, we have a dry stretch of weather coming up. Whoops. So you see that, dry stretch of weather. And if we go look at our QPF here, move this to the QPF map, and we go and we look at, let's move this to days 1 through 7. You'll see, look at that, barely anything for us. It's mostly in the Midwest and the Southwest, the West Coast, except for the Northwest, and our area, the Northeast, seems to be relatively dry. So finally, we get a break from all this rain. So let's take a look at what we have, and that's good, just in time for the Memorial Day weekend. So let's go take a look at the jet stream here on the GFS here. And you'll see what's going to be changing here. We have a ridging in the east, finally. You can see that. And that is going to mean less of these jet streams, still very, very weak and very dysfunctional, by the way. You see going through the period here. But it does mean that we will be drier than what we've been seeing. I want to actually just go to the CODIS satellite as well. So you can see those storms firing up here. I'll just put this here. Again, you can see those storms firing up. Look at that. So they're firing up right there. Look at that. This is just a slight bit of haze. Slight bit, but I don't really see that much smoke. We'll look at the smoke model too toward the end. But let's go to the... I'm not even going to bother looking at the European because I think, well, I will, but only when we get to the upper air part of it, the 500. So let's go look at the upper air here. And you'll see here that there's your ridging. So then that is going to keep us in fair weather. We have a lot of ridging as we get into toward the end of the month. There's a dreaded cutoff there toward the end. But there is quite a bit of ridging here on this. We'll go to the European AI. Let's see if there are any differences here. Yeah, Euro does have a much stronger trough as we get toward the end of the month, I notice. But other than that, they seem fairly similar. Temperature anomaly chart. We're going to go to this now on the GFS. So this means that things are going to be warming up. And you'll see here temperatures are going to be above normal in the east and below normal in the upper Midwest. Though we're not going to be dramatically above normal. And toward the end, it sort of goes below normal. The one thing you can see is that Canada is way, way above normal for much of the period. Go bring this down to the CONUS region here. And we can also look at that on the European as well. I don't think the AI does the temperature anomalies. But but you'll see that we will be above normal. But then toward the end of the month, maybe we trend a little cooler again. So let's go to the surface now, and we will go to the GFS, and we'll look at the surface. So going through this week, you see high pressure is nose down over us pretty much, and that is going to keep us dry for the most part. Until we get toward maybe Thursday, that could be our next slight chance of rain with the cold front, and then high pressure builds in for Friday, Saturday, and then let's see what happens here as we get towards Sunday and Memorial Day. There might be another slight chance of rain. This is the 18Z run. Let's just see what the 12Z run looks like. The 12Z is stronger with the high, but it's still showing something, so it could still be, to say the whole weekend is going to be dry is going to be, I think we'll definitely have some sunny days, but whether the whole weekend will be dry or not is another story with this setup. It's still a week out, so it's very, very hard to predict exactly what's going to happen here. Let's go to the European. The AI. Let's see what the AI has. Again, staying dry. And you see that little bit of moisture. We're going to have to watch for this front, see how far it gets. Hopefully it sinks far enough south, and most of the weekend should be okay. But yeah, you have to watch that Sunday to perhaps Monday time frame for the chance of some rain. But it's just too far out to really say for sure. And if we look at the total accumulated precip on here, we'll go right through the end of Memorial Day weekend. Not really showing much in the way of rain, just a little bit. We'll do the GFS next. GFS showing a little bit more. That's the 18Z. The 12Z actually is wetter than the 18Z run. So, like I said, it's a week out. We'll see. But like I said, I think we're going to have at least a dry period for this week. So that's the good news in all of this. So let's go to the short range now. Look at the HRRR. Got enough of it in here to show you what we are going to be having for this week. So you see, as we head into Monday, we have the northeast to east flow that continues through tomorrow. Keeps us cool, dew points in the comfortable range. And then as we get to a Tuesday, the wind swings around to the southwest, and that's when we're going to see that warm up that we have. Air temperatures, obviously, this isn't going to take us through Tuesday, but it will take us through Monday, and you'll see here cooler along the coastal areas, warmer inland. Probably similar temperatures to today, probably for tomorrow. Let's look at cloud cover for a moment. Because I know some models are still showing a lot of cloud cover. Yeah, it's showing like low clouds. Must be like low-level moisture or something that it's showing for tomorrow. That may be a little overdone. We'll have to see. So let's go to the GFS next. GFS, here we go. Here's the GFS for tomorrow. We'll take us look at the dew points and wind flow again. You see again that we have the easterly flow that keeps us cool, but then we have that it changed direction. Tuesday is going to be a warmer day, though. The southwesterly flow will keep Long Island cooler. It will be warmer inland. You'll have a big difference between inland areas like New Jersey. And then Wednesday, we continue with the southwest flow. Starts getting a little more humid, particularly over Jersey. And then Thursday, here comes the next front. And you'll see here that we have, again, a fairly humid air mass, but the south-southwest flow will keep Long Island cooler. Front comes through Friday, and then we have to watch how far it gets because I hope we don't deal with stall front syndrome. But it looks like the front kind of gets hung up and stalls out, though it could be pretty far away. So how far this front gets through will depend on what kind of weather we're going to have Friday and Saturday. Though we're staying in the cool air, as you see with the easterly flow that we have. And looking at Monday, you can see easterly flow keeps us cool, but that may also keep things. People want the hot weather, and right now it just doesn't look like we're going to see it. Originally, that high was stronger, and I'm going to actually show you what I mean when I get done showing you the temperatures. So let's go into Tuesday. You'll see Tuesday it really warms up, 80 or better inland, probably low to mid 70s across inland areas, Long Island, North Shore, Central Nassau, and 70s to 60 around at the coast. And then heating up even more for Wednesday, well into the mid to upper 80s inland. It's going to be a hot day Wednesday. And then along Long Island, probably 70s again. Coolest temperatures on the South Shore. That's where you're going to want to be. Same thing for Thursday. And with this cold front, this could be our next chance of possibly some thunderstorm activity. It's way too far ahead to say for sure, but definitely feeling a little more summery. And then as we go into Friday, the temperatures back off a little bit, though not all that much. It still has temperatures well into the 70s, perhaps close to 80. Then Saturday, we cool down a little more. We have the mid-70s. And then looking at Sunday, this is when we could have miserable weather here where the temperatures drop. And this is definitely showing some kind of crummy weather for Sunday and Monday with clouds. I could tell by looking at the temperatures here. And this is, again, the GFS here, 18Z run, 12Z run, a little bit warmer. In the other run. So let's go to the, what was I? Gotta remind myself what I was talking about here. I guess we'll go to the skies. So let's look at tomorrow, and you'll see it has some clouds over like more coastal areas, inland less clouds. And then for Tuesday, could still be some clouds around perhaps. Just look at the sounding here. It'll kind of tell us what kind of clouds we have. Mostly the high variety as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. As you get into that southwest flow. Here we are Wednesday. Not showing much in the way of clouds at all. Though these lines are still kind of close. But Wednesday could be the day with the most sunshine. It'll also be the hottest. And then here we are with clouds Thursday. And then Friday we try to get that front to the south so we can get a mostly sunny day. And then the clouds kind of come in on us on Saturday. And that's when we could be dealing with our next chance possibly for rain. According to this, it doesn't really bring much in until we get towards Sunday. And it really, like I said, it has that high there, and I'm hoping it's stronger with the high and keeps that rain away. But this is the GFS sky. This is, again, you can see how the 12Z was further south than the 18Z run. You can see that. So let's see. And then I'm going to go to the 0Z run. Actually, models were a little stronger with that high. I don't know, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I think it was stronger with that high. Let's look at this for a moment here. Because it seemed like it was definitely stronger with that high. The older runs. Let me go look at this for a minute. We're going to go to an old run. Let's go to 18Z Saturday. So this is the 18Z Saturday run. You can see that high seemed a lot stronger. So I'll have to see, but that high moves in and hopefully saves us. This could be a potential first tropical system of the season, perhaps. That sure as hell looks like one to me. And even before the official start, but hey, we're in a warmer world, so we can get storms earlier in the season. And it's going to be a really, really bad season, too. So let's go back to the local area. We'll go ahead and look at skies for tomorrow because we do have disagreements with the cloud models. So let's do that. Back this way up here. All right, so tomorrow you can see our gem has some clouds on the coast, and we get rid of them, though it could be some higher clouds coming in perhaps in the afternoon. And then the clouds kind of come back because of that easterly flow. And then as we get into more of the southwesterly flow, we won't have to worry about coastal clouds as much on Tuesday, but could have some cirrus and jet chunk in there. And then here we are Wednesday. Maybe a few clouds, but there should be a decent amount of sun, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll probably start off with clouds, and then we'll get rid of them probably as the day goes on. But it should still be a pretty decent day out there, all in all. This doesn't have the... this doesn't tell us what level the clouds are at. No, it does not. One more cloud model here. See, they're all over the place, the cloud models. If I look at this model here, it's a little more stubborn to get rid of the clouds. Takes a little bit longer, but it does get rid of them toward the afternoon, particularly over New Jersey, oddly enough. And then Tuesday, showing more of those higher clouds coming in again. Let's just take a sounding here for a moment. Yeah, we only have up to that. That looks pretty good. It does show some cloudiness, but I think we should see some more sun tomorrow. So it start, I think, with more clouds, and then we'll see more sun. That's what's going to happen, I think. Let's go to Ventu Sky, and we'll just visualize the temperatures here over this week again. All right, so we'll just set this for 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. See, tomorrow's not that hot, but when we start cranking up the temperatures as we go into Tuesday, This is usually in the HRRR model, which is still fairly cool, actually. It's not that hot. The heat doesn't crank up until Wednesday, and then it gets into the 80s. But you see the south-southwest flow that we're going to have is a tendency to keep Long Island cooler versus the inland areas. All right? So I think we will have a definitely, and then as we get toward the weekend, you see the effects of that cold front. This is the icon model that we're looking at now. All right? But like I said, the weekend right now, kind of far in advance to really say what's going to happen here. I see the northwest flow here. It's generally a dry flow that the icon is showing for Saturday. But then as we go into Sunday, we get a southeasterly flow. And then Monday, it's showing temperatures a lot cooler. So Monday could be the day that we may have to deal with some precipitation. And it is showing some here. But Sunday looks fairly dry. Saturday looks fairly dry. So it's rare to get all 3 days dry for the holiday weekend, but we should hopefully be able to at least get one or probably two at least, which would be good. So lastly, let's go to the Climate Prediction Center here. 6 to 10 day outlook. Temperatures above normal in the east, particularly in the south. Below normal in the west. So that shows that there's a ridge in the east, but it still has above normal precipitation in the east as well. Unfortunately, the better chances are going to be not so much in the northeast, but more toward the Mississippi Valley area, Great Lakes, below normal to below normal in the southwest. So they're gonna have to worry about fire dangers in that area. And then 8 to 14 day, we have the precipitation outlook still showing somewhat chances of above normal precipitation and temperatures near normal in the 8 to 14 days. So temperatures probably will have more of troughing perhaps as we get into the beginning of June. There's definitely a chance of that at the end of the month. Let's go now and talk about the smoke. I'll go to the MODIS satellite first. So can't really see too much in the way of smoke up here on this MODIS satellite, which is good news. It's good news for now, at least, right? All right, let's go to the RAP smoke model and see what we have here. I'll go to, I think it's the 21Z that goes fully out, right? All right, let's see if we've got any smoke, and then we can wrap up this video here. This is going to take a little bit of time to load here. Yeah, it's showing a lot over most of it's over Central America, some over Canada, and it does not really showing too much smoke over our area, but hey, we could possibly, you see a little bit trying to make its way north perhaps as we get toward the middle of the week, so we could see definitely hazier conditions, especially by the time we get to Wednesday, especially with that heat that's going to be coming. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather up. Look at that smoke making it all the way to Greenland, too. That's pretty crazy right there. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Have a good night.